Today we're taking another look at Ethereum's ETH coin, performing some technical analysis and making some predictions on where we can expect to see Ethereum go in the near future. Let's get into it. Welcome back into the Ethereum chart, guys. If you'd like to buy ETH or want some free Bitcoin, there are a couple of links down in the description of today's video. But I'm very excited to say it looks like we may finally be seeing a bit of recovery, not only in Ethereum, but the overall crypto market. We may have just seen our base. Currently, we're sitting at a value of $2,754. Unfortunately, prior to, I suppose, this video, we did see that was a key support level. It was broken and we hit a low on the 24th of January, and that low was a value of $2,160. But we have had a bounce, and it has bounced hard and fast, guys. Now, I'm just going to get rid of a few key things on this chart. Don't really care about these lines anymore. These support and resistance lines that we had in place will be critical moving into the near future. So I'm going to extend them out slightly. As you can see, they will be our first key points. But on a bigger scale, I want to show you guys that we are still actually in an overall uptrend from a long-term perspective. So what we can do is basically take some older data and look at exactly what happens over the past. There we go. Extend this out. And as you can see, we are still long-term actually uptrending, which is quite interesting. And the bounce that we saw of the low on the 24th at $2,160, that was, funnily enough, actually in fact a bounce off that long-term uptrend. So that is really the main critical point for us moving into the future. So I'm just going to extend that one out. And the reason this is basically our long-term trend is, as you can see, we've bounced off it previously over here. It has been a bounce point over here, and we started sort of around there where there was a lot of price action at that point in time. So clearly this is a long-term uptrend that is in place. Now, right now we're at a real critical point. I'm going to extend that up so we can see a bit better. We are at that key point of resistance and just slightly above. The resistance point's at 2,745. We're sitting just above it at 2,758, and we're moving up towards our 20-day moving average, which we've been sitting below for quite some time, unfortunately. Now, we've been sitting below it since basically the 28th of December. So what we need to do is get back above that point, and that 20 days now sitting at 2,810. So achieving that would be pretty big and a good sign that we may be seeing a bit of a reversal occurring. From a short-term perspective, we can see a little bit of a trend has formed from right about there. I'm just going to put the line. Actually, I'll just leave it from where it was. We've got 3 touch points on this baseline, and we're moving in an upwards direction. This is an upwards channel that has basically formed itself, and we're at the top end of that upwards channel. If we're able to break that upwards channel, we will see a large uptick and hopefully be able to test this key point up here, which is our next resistance point at 3,065. But of course, we need to break the channel or just slowly keep moving up in that sort of a direction, and as well break through that 20-day moving average. Let's have a quick look at a few more things. Volume. As you can see, the volume has been green over the past few days, which is positive, but the big dumps of red were not good and resulted in us unfortunately failing quite quickly. It's critical that this buying momentum A continues and B increases in the near term for us to achieve what we are seeing right about here. Let's have a quick look at the RSI. This would start to be going up from a point of oversold. We got to a low on the RSI of 21.91, severely oversold. We have now increased to a value of 43.12. Now, whilst this price, I suppose, isn't increasing significantly, what this shows us, given that it's a pretty sharp uptrend in the RSI, is the fact that most of, if not all of the momentum and the volume that we're seeing here is buying. There's not much more selling. So it's looking like potentially the selling has died off a bit, but there is plenty of headroom for us to move upwards with a buying momentum So of course, let's as well look at the MACD. MACD has crossed, the 12-day EMA has crossed back above the 26-day EMA. This is major for us. And it looks like we're certainly starting to make a move. This should be the main indicator for us to see a big uptick. And we saw that the cross occurred basically here, 30th of January. That's when a bit of a doji happened. I reckon there was a bit of indecision. Will it cross? Will it not cross? Will we get something a bit like this? But this looks like a genuine cross, and it's the first time we've seen one of these in quite some time. A very reliable indicator for us moving forward. So hopefully what we see now is big buying momentum coming in, break past our key points of resistance, importantly of course the 20-day moving average $2,810, and hit our first target, which is at $3,065. That will be hopefully our next goal. That wraps up today's Ethereum analysis, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts on ETH down in the comments section below. Of course, if you did enjoy today's video as well, make sure you do leave a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. I'll leave it there for today, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.